Now, everyone knows that WWE has made a lot of history when it comes to WrestleMania. Whether it was the infamous very first ever main event of WrestleMania at WrestleMania 1 between Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, and of course the team of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Roddy Piper. From that to the infamous Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12, the first ever one featuring Bret the Hitman Hart and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, all the way to the infamous breaking of The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Even this past year at WrestleMania, John Cena going from 16 to 17 world titles. But nothing could be as historic as today's video. If you guys recall, last week I talked about how WrestleMania will no longer be taking place in New Orleans, as it could very well take place outside of the US. Now some developing news just broke as we found out that WrestleMania next year could very well go back to Las Vegas. This would only be the second time in WrestleMania history that they would do back-to-back manias in the same venue. Obviously the very first time was in none other than Trump Plaza in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Both WrestleManias had such a historic moment in time, if you will, for WWE. And that moment in time came at WrestleMania 4, when at that time WWE President Jack Tunney at the time decided to make a one-night only tournament to crown a new WWE champion. This was won by none other than WWE Hall of Famer, the late great Macho Man Randy Savage. 1 year later, he defends the title against the man who helped him become champion, none other than fellow WWE Hall of Famer, two-time Hall of Famer, none other than the immortal Hulk Hogan. This sparked a lot of questions over the years since then. The question being, could WrestleMania go back-to-back years in the same venue? And the answer has been answered after all, and the question has been answered after all these years is yes. We found out that after this past year's WrestleMania inside Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, we found out that WWE and the Las Vegas Sports Commission, I believe is their actual name, are looking to go back-to-back years. Now, this was actually reported by several news outlets, including Sportskeeda, WrestleVotes, PW Insider, and many, many others. This sparked a massive question that a lot of people have been asking, which is, could we see the same stage for next year's WrestleMania similar to this past year? And the answer is yes. It's very possible, but there's a lot to consider. And also think about this. Again, as I just recently stated, PW Insider, WrestleVotes, Wrestling News Co., Sportskeeda, the Wrestling Observer, all these news outlets had dropped the bombshell that WWE would be going back-to-back years in Las Vegas because of the high praise that WWE got for not only the amount of people that watched WrestleMania on Peacock and of course on Netflix internationally, but also the amount of people that showed up to both nights of WrestleMania with how historic both nights were. Think about what happened at this past year's WrestleMania. A lot happened a month ago. We saw Jey Uso do what everyone thought was going to be impossible, and that was defeat Gunther to become World Heavyweight Champion. We saw the New Day finally get their WrestleMania moment by becoming the new World Tag Team Champions. We saw Jacob Fatu win his first championship in WWE, being the United States title. We saw Tiffany Stratton silence the Queen to retain her WWE Women's title, and then the ultimate shock. The shock of the century being Seth freaking Rollins aligning himself with Paul Heyman, thus the heel turn that nobody wanted to see, if you can actually believe it. That was just on night one. Night two, we saw Io Sky get her WrestleMania moment, breaking Bianca Belair's very own undefeated streak at WrestleMania. We saw Dirty Dom become Intercontinental Champion. We saw the return of the man Becky Lynch, and John Cena, as I stated, going from 16 to 17, defeating Cody Rhodes. Interestingly enough, Cody Rhodes had he definitely earns that time off away from WWE, because he had carried WWE on his back for literally over a year. So the fact that Cody had been gone from WWE for less than 2 months, he definitely earned it. And again, with all of that, and with how much money WWE drew in, right, in terms of merch sales, ticket sales, WWE World, all of the signing, like meet and greet outside of WWE World and all that. With all of that, WWE generated so much money that the city of Las Vegas want to go for another round. And we also found out that the city of Las Vegas wants to host WrestleMania again in the near future. In fact, WWE issued a statement that was reported by, I believe, by PW Insider, that WWE will be going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania a lot more frequently, meaning that we could potentially see it happen not only next year, but also sometime in the next 3 to 5 years, which is a crazy ordeal, again, because of how much history WWE made at WrestleMania this past April. This sparks a lot of controversy, but this also sparks a lot of questions that fans have been clamoring about for quite some time. And one of the biggest questions excuse me. Excuse me. One of the biggest questions that has been asked is, how much more history can WWE make? What matches could we see at next year's WrestleMania? There's definitely a lot to consider, but excuse me. Anyway, one of the biggest things one of the biggest issues that I have with WrestleMania going back to Las Vegas a lot more frequently is the fact that fans could potentially get tired of going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania, which is very possible. 100%, it is very possible, and that's something that WWE should definitely be mindful of. Is the potentiality that fans could very well get tired of having WrestleMania be in Las Vegas. So at some point, yes, they could potentially relocate like they did with next year's WrestleMania. Because again, in the previous video that I talked about WrestleMania in, they were supposed to host WrestleMania next year inside Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, originally known as the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, but now excuse me. And again, we know that with WrestleMania inside the Superdome, there's a lot of rich history. The Undertaker streak coming to an end. WrestleMania being turned into Yeselmania. Asuka streak coming to an end. You know, the shocking heel turn of Shinsuke Nakamura. So many others as well that maybe we could potentially have seen another streak come to an end at next year's WrestleMania inside the Superdome. But with WrestleMania potentially now going back to Las Vegas, this sparks a lot of controversy that maybe WrestleMania 43 could take place inside the Superdome, or they may switch it up again and go back to Las Vegas, which again sparks the hate that some fans could potentially have for WWE. My honest thoughts on this whole ordeal, I think going back to back is okay, but it depends on. It just depends, right? Because we have had over the years WWE host premium live events in the same venue multiple times over the years. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still sick. A good example of WWE hosting premium live events in the same venue over and over again is SummerSlam. Excuse me. Is SummerSlam from 2009 to 2013 2013, I want to say, to 2013, and I believe in Brooklyn from 2014 to 2018, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2009 to 2013 SummerSlam took place inside now known as the Crypto.com Arena here in my hometown of Los Angeles, and then of course, I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. My throat just won't unclog, so I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I am back. Sorry about that. You guys know I've been sick for the last week. My throat, my nose has been so clogged up that my throat just won't remain unclogged because of all the mucus that's been in my system. You guys already know. Anyway, as I was saying, SummerSlam emanated here in my hometown of LA inside the Crypto.com Arena from 2009 to 2013. My God, my throat! I'll be right back, guys. Hang on. Alright, you guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Again, I've been sick, so I humbly apologize. Hopefully you guys can forgive me. But moving on. Again, SummerSlam 2009 to 2013 here in my hometown of LA. And then in Brooklyn, New York from excuse me, from 2014 to 2018, and then from that point, and then from 2019 up until now, it has emanated from so many different cities, which again sparks the idea of WrestleMania being emanated from Las Vegas, multiple years going on, which again is not a bad idea. But it can spark a lot of controversy, which can lead to potentially less and less fans showing up to WrestleMania. Excuse me. That being said, I feel like as if it's a bad idea, and again the reason being, it has a lot to do with again with SummerSlam. From 2009 to 2018, emanating from not one but two different cities, Los Angeles and Brooklyn. I feel like as if they go the direction of what they did for SummerSlam, I'm afraid that they may not generate more, a lot of revenue. Excuse me. In terms of merch sales, ticket sales, WWE World, it's possible, but because that they said that they were gonna go back to Las Vegas for WrestleMania more frequently, I'm assuming that they may do it not only next year but go back to Vegas like once every 2, maybe 3 years at best. I would probably say once every 3 years, which again, it's not bad. It's not a bad idea, but again, it could spark a lot of hate on social media from members of the WWE universe, which is very possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below. Excuse me, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.